Each year, the Sheeple Army looks for new recruits in Sector 9 to 5. No thinking required. Wee! So before you sign up for a soul-crushing tour of duty in corporate America, train to survive cubicle warfare with CorporateLand. Learn the tools of the trade and hang up your suit and tie for good. A link is in the description, bitches.
What's up, you basket fuck of deplorable punks? Terrence Popp here, Redonkulas.com. Winning!
And hiding at the foot of your bed with a video camera and a smile, I'm Toxic Male.
Bad Pop showed up today because the election, it's just around the corner. But if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already after the election. Go ahead and ask me why. Because you were stupid and you didn't subscribe to us on Alt Tech. Either way, social media has been pissing fire of political syphilis. Rigs! And when you're this close to voting, you realize how many people in your life are ID10Ts. I am thoroughly amazed at the amount of people who actually believe the bullshit the media is shoveling. So I've decided I'm gonna do my civic duty in the only way I know how. I'm gonna drink, talk some mad shit, laugh at the stupid, and speak the truth. But even more important than that, I'm gonna personally dump a buttload of salt in your wounds. Because I'm gonna debunk the top 10 orange man is bad, nothing burgers. We're gonna digest these burgers and turn them back into what they always were. A big pile of steaming shit, Screen 5. So pour yourself a nice menagerie, dudes, and let us all go to the polls together. Yeah. So we're gonna dissect all of these nothing burgers, then flip it over, play in the mud, if you know what I mean.
Trump won't release his tax returns, so he must be cheating on his taxes.
Never mind the fact that Trump and his corporations have been under constant audit for the past 30 years. No tax attorney worth their salt would release those tax returns, well, because they can't. And only blood-sucking government leeches wouldn't know this because they never paid any taxes in their whole goddamn lives. But that didn't stop the media from illegally releasing them anyway. And someone needs to get sued. They claim Trump only paid $750 in taxes, which is complete bullshit. And even if he did, here's to you. Do you really think you're gonna flip votes this way? What are you, stupid?
Trump took advantage of perfectly legal tax loopholes? Oh my God.
Meanwhile, the same tax returns they claim is this huge bombshell, they actually show that he paid millions of dollars in taxes. But here it comes. Biden not releasing his Senate records. Totally fine. These tax loopholes that only evil whiteys take advantage of, right? They were put in place by, you guessed it, Congress, which is full of corrupt bureaucrats who have been there for, I don't know, half a century? Democrats like Pelosi, Cuck Schumer, and sloppy Joe Biden, they all passed this bullshit. Just between those three, you have over a century of government. If you are new to a company and the CEO blamed you for it going bankrupt, would you really take him serious?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a racist and a white supremacist. Snowflake.
The white supremacist who got all kinds of awards for developing and helping the minority community. Right. The guy who won the Ellis Island Award right next to Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks. A double corn dog. Right. I've been listening to this crap for 5 years, and I'm sick and tired of it. Building a wall to stop illegal immigration doesn't make you a rhesus monkey. But saying you don't believe in borders basically means you don't believe in having a country. Never mind the fact that you all lock your doors at night and you have a lawn to mow. When all of that fell on deaf ears, because let's face it, when was the last time you heard anything? They pivot to two other talking points that prove Trump is some type of rhesus monkey. Both of these have been debunked more times than Santa Claus, but yet we still heard them in both debates.
Very fine people on both sides.
And that clearly must mean that he endorses white supremacy. 10 seconds more of that clip on either side. Boom! Truth bomb.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
But that doesn't matter, right? Because he called Mexicans rapists and murderers, right? Wah.
But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals.
Trump was specifically addressing MS-13, which they're a bunch of reprehensible ass bags.
There could be an MS-13 gang member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
You see how this thing falls apart faster than my ex's legs at a firefighter banquet? But you want to know who actually is a rhesus monkey? The guy you're voting for. He called the desegregation of schools a racial jungle. Damn! And I know there are people in the audience who are Democrats who are like,
Pop, he said that 40 years ago.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
And on top of that, Biden co-sponsored a crime bill that decimated the minorities in America.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a rapist and a sexist. Hashtag me too.
I'm not going to stand here and say he's not a sexist because it takes one to know one, Space Ghost. But he routinely promoted women to positions of power within his companies if they did a good job. There are two main talking points that the left and the media have been peddling for the past 5 years. For example, there's a woman out there who's been accusing Trump of grapefruiting her when she was 13. Oh my God! But she keeps dropping the case over and over and over again. Gee, I wonder why somebody would do that if it actually happened. And she also refuses to be identified because she knows she would get sued into the Stone Age. And of course, you have the infamous grab him by the box tape.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the
First of all, I don't care. Second of all, it fell flatter than Dr. Doom getting run over by the steamroller and Roger Rabbit. For two main reasons. Number one, this is just how dudes talk to each other. It's locker room talk. And if you say it doesn't happen, you're full of shit. And the second reason, he implied consent when he said it.
And when you're a star, they let you do it.
If they let you do it, they're not stopping you from doing it. You see how that works here. But that's what you're looking at when you're looking at it from the flip side, if you know what I mean. We have a video, documented evidence of Creepy Joe getting kind of sloppy with women and children for years.
Completely normal.
Then you have Tara Reade's completely credible allegations against him that the Me Too crowd is completely ignoring. Aren't we supposed to believe all women even though they don't know who, what, where, when, why, or how? Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, I forgot. We're supposed to believe all women when the person accused has an R after their name. I guess that explains why Bill Clinton isn't in prison. He had a line of women around the block with credible allegations, and they never changed their stories. And if politicians are too elite for you, we have Jacob Blake. That makes my back hurt.
This dude is seen as a hero and a martyr by the same left that says we need to believe all women, weh? And he only got lead poisoning because he's a multiple felon with several charges of grapefruiting against him. Just so we're clear, We're supposed to believe his accuser, right?
Well, I guess that all goes out the window when reality gets in the way of the narrative. Space Ghost.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump colluded with the Russians to steal the election.
And this came about less than a month after the Democrats stated that elections couldn't be rigged. And to insist otherwise, well, you're just peddling conspiracy theory. Wah.
By doing that, he is threatening our democracy.
But after Trump won the election, the Democrats, well, they flipped their script and said Russia influenced the election. A country with a GDP slightly less than South Korea? Yeah, right. Wah. But of course, some Facebook ads can completely, change election results. Every single time the Democrats lose, they claim the election was rigged. The only time they haven't done this is when it's a complete landslide. So that means twice. And what was the result? 3 years of bullshit investigations and a slew of false reporting.
Russia, Putin, Russian, Moscow, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian.
And what did they find? Nothing, bupkis, zero, zilch. And yet there are Democrats out there that still believe Trump is some kind of Russian asset. Wow! The dumb is deep in those people. The United States is home to the most sophisticated intelligence apparatus on the planet.
An intelligence apparatus with a vested interest in taking down this president. Keep that in mind.
They combed through every millimeter of Donald Trump's life and his staff for 3 years, and they found nothing. But...
Well, that means he's super slimy and he's just good at hiding it.
Get out of here and f*** off. Now keep in mind, this same apparatus was beyond reproach when they chose not to prosecute Hillary Clinton, despite the fact that provable crimes actually occurred. If you were remotely awake at that moment, you realize that our system is completely broken. You want to know where all this crap came from? Buckle in, because here we go. It's because Hillary and the Democrats, well, they actually colluded with the Russians. We didn't know. As the Secretary of State, she signed over 20% of our enriched uranium stockpiles to the Russians. And she did it all for a donation to her nonprofit organization because she's all about helping people. Yeah, right. Just ask the people of Haiti how much the Clinton Foundation helped them out, huh? Space Ghost. Christopher Steele was paid by Hillary Clinton to put together some crazy dossier about Trump.
And he was a former British spy using current Russian assets, and this triggered a fake news avalanche about foreign election meddling. Now that's the kind of irony that only dirty money can buy.
The FBI knew it was completely fake, and yet they pushed it through FISA anyway. Can anyone say prison?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is a fascist dictator.
This is all coming from a group who doesn't even know what gender is, let alone fascism. Fascism is literally the absence of democracy and the suppression of opposition using censorship and violence. Gee, I totally don't know of any left-wing groups that do this.
Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia.
They claim Trump has signed more executive orders than any president in the past 50 years. But their favorite president was FDR. FDR signed 290 executive orders per year he was in office. FDR served 3 terms. That is 3,480 executive orders. Holy shit! Trump could sign 10 executive orders between now and the election and he would still be less than FDR. Trump is an advocate for the First and Second Amendment, in fact, the entire Constitution, unlike your liberal messiah. He has loosened restrictions for businesses that were put in place by Obama, an actual fascist who disguised the graping of the middle class as a health care plan.
Not to mention routinely weaponizing the bureaucracy to silence his political opponents. Speaking of which,
you know, all of these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are censoring information on the internet, you know, the same companies that leftists claim they hate but yet borrow all of their talking points from? They all support Democrats. Screen 5. Obama sued the media 3 times more than all of the other presidents combined. He also spent $36 million of your money protecting his administration from FOIA requests. So I'm just asking for a friend. Who really comes across as a fascist here? I'm just saying.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is holding immigrant kids in cages. It's so barbaric.
These photos that were used to smear the Trump administration, they were taken in 2014 when a certain stunning and brave president was in office. And they were used to smear Trump for simply enforcing existing immigration policy. I'm going to give you the bottom line right now. We as a nation are not responsible for children brought here illegally. Whatever happens to these children while they're coming here or after they get here, that is on their parents.
Trump put kids in cages. Oh my God, I'm gonna pose for a fake photo. I'm staring at an empty parking lot screaming like a banshee, and not in a good way.
Obama built all those cages. In fact, he was known as the deporter-in-chief. We never heard about that on the news.
So that is our direct message to the families in Central America. Do not send your children to the borders. If they do make it, they'll get sent back. More importantly, they may not make it.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump assassinated Soleimani, and he's gonna start World War III.
Hey, let's get something straight here. Soleimani was a murdering asshole. He has been on my personal beat on sight list since 2005, and he's been listed as a terrorist since 2005 as well. He was the commander of the Quds Force in Iran. Its whole purpose was to crush and obliterate any opposition to the ruling class. So basically, this dude built his whole career on putting his own people to the sword. And killing this dude was supposed to start World War III? Who the hell are you kidding here? Come on. Obama, well, he was a drone-killing fool and no one seemed to care. He started shadow wars in North Africa that are still raging today. He promised to end the wars. Instead, he turned 2 wars into 7. After, of course, winning a Nobel Peace Prize just for showing up. Okay, so the guy who killed countless women and children gets the Nobel Peace Prize, but not the guy who brokered actual peace deals that no one thought were possible. And I'm supposed to think that he's the bad guy. Right, yeah.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump is interfering in the affairs of Ukraine just to smear Joe Biden. Let's impeach the motherfucker.
Let's break down why the House of Socialists, representatives actually impeached Trump. Trump called Ukraine and asked why a specific prosecutor was fired. That's it. That's really all he did. Space Ghost. But there is actual footage of Biden bragging about getting a specific prosecutor fired.
I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
Because this specific prosecutor was looking into the dealings of his crackhead son. Hunter Biden, well, we're going to refer to him as Hunter Biden for the sake of this video, because that's exactly what he is. He was getting paid $80 grand a month to work in a position he was not qualified for.
offering the crackhead son of the second most powerful man in the world a job and a salary completely incongruous with his qualifications and his character? Nothing to see here.
The only thing Hunter Biden knows about natural gas is how to huff fumes to get high. Screen 5. Trump, he was doing his job. He's trying to root out corruption in this country. That's what got him impeached. Shocker, want to smell it?
No.
But it was slapped down like a red-headed stepchild in the Senate. In September, it was revealed that Biden and his son were bribed by Burisma. And now, there are several hard drives that were left behind by Hunter that are now proving his family knew all about it. And they lied about it. Go ahead, ask me why. Because Joe Biden was using his position to profit from other countries, using his family as bagmen for his money laundering operation. If you haven't read the rule book, that is straight up treason, and it disqualifies Biden for running for president. And it would explain this huge jump in wealth between 2016 and 2017 for Joe Biden. But it could just be a huge coinky-dink.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump called COVID a hoax, and he didn't act in time, so 200,000 people died.
He never, ever called it a hoax, you stupid biatchas. He said that the politicizing of the pandemic was a hoax, something the media directly encouraged. Links in the description.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax.
The vast majority of the deaths from the unspecified illness of unknown origin, or better yet, we call it EIU. If you take the CDC numbers at face value, which I don't, let's drink. They come from blue states with the strictest lockdowns, and a near majority of those deaths come from nursing homes.
Gee, I wonder if any of these nipple-pierced or gender-ambiguous blue state governors forced nursing homes to accept sick patients despite countless warnings from the CDC to avoid exactly that, like, I don't know, the plague?
Murders, genocide, Space Ghost. It's all a power grab, and the longer it goes on, the more people get used to it. And that is more terrifying than any disease, just saying. Let's play devil's advocate here just for a moment, and it was a good movie. Even if Trump was responsible for the 200,000 plus dead, which he's not, the 10th Amendment forbids him from acting unilaterally for the entire country. Even if he was responsible, that's still a 90% reduction from the original estimates of dead. Back in March, they said it would be between 2 and 2.5 million dead. I call that a win. No matter how you look at it, Trump was either monumentally successful or not responsible for it at all. So trying to blame him for the actions of Democratic governors is complete bullshit. Trump, he started early in all of this crap by instigating a travel ban from China.
A move that everyone's favorite marionette-in-chief says saved countless lives. So put that in your underage crack pipe and smoke it. Or, I don't know, you could use it to lube up her feet. Not that I would know about that or anything.
And for doing that, he was called, you guessed it, a xenophobe by the Democrats. But the same people who say he wasn't acting fast enough were calling for mass gatherings.
But we do want to say to people, come to Chinatown. Here we are. Come join us.
And since then, these lockdown enthusiasts, they keep breaking their own rules. Pelosi, she went and got her hair done because of, I don't know when. Lightfoot from Chicago, she had to go get her beauty on because she kind of looks like Beetlejuice.
So in a nutshell, voting Democrat in this election says, I'm either too inept, delusional, over-medicated, or easily manipulated to exist in the real world. And rather than take responsibility for that, I reject your reality and substitute my own. Wah.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Trump incites violence on the daily. OMG, WTF, LOL.
Now I'm going to be completely honest here. Do I think Trump tweets too much? Absolutely, and someone should probably take his phone away. But throwing out some tweets about liberating Michigan and Virginia is not inciting violence. Liberation is not inherently violent.
And if you think it is, you need to have a long talk with the wage gap enthusiasts, because they led this whole women's liberation movement. And if you call them violent, the media will say you're crazy. Just ask their unborn children.
Oh, I love how leftists say everything is peaceful until someone else does the exact same thing. The Democrats have endorsed 5 months of burning, looting, and murdering. And all of this has been mislabeled by the media from the beginning as peaceful protests.
What you are seeing, the common theme that ties all of this together, is an expression of anger.
Disregard the burning building behind me. This has been mostly peaceful protest. On top of that, you have direct calls for violence from people within our own government and blue-check Twitter accounts.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You get out and you create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome.
They're not. This is a movement. I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. And everyone beware.
And please show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
In the Bill of Rights, you fake news peddling, roid-raging, sibling coattail-riding, pseudo-quarantine chucklehead. I'm not surprised you haven't read it. Most of us don't look at what we're wiping our asses with.
But it's the far right that's responsible for all of this violence, even though we have debunked the absolute shit out of it. Links in the description. And what shocks me more? Half the country is so stupid they fall for it. Because Orange Man is bad, and my guy says nice things, and, virtue signaling and morality. Shut up! Never mind the fact that you want to give the nuclear football to a dude who doesn't even know what year it is. Well, that seems safe.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay?
What the f***? Joe Biden can't even go 2 minutes with his opponent's microphone turned off without looking like a complete idiot. He looks like his face is going to explode right before he says he's eliminating millions of jobs.
And that's on top of the worldwide Great Depression that his nationwide and completely unconstitutional lockdown and mandatory mask mandate would cause. You thought 15 days was tough, or was it 7 months? I don't know. I'm in Michigan and my governor's an idiot.
Make no mistake, if Joe Biden gets elected, we are f***ed to the fourth power. With that being said, my menagerie is empty. I need to sit down for a good 30 minutes before I even attempt to drive home. But before I check out here, I would never ever disclose who I'm going to vote for or try to influence you. So go away, Trump 2020.
Did you ever see that picture of the chick who was like she was like deep throating the dude's dick and she started puking on it?
I've seen that.
It looks like she's just spewing coffee all over his dick and balls.
I've seen horrible shit like, why do I need to, why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? And you gotta make the sound effects, and you gotta show the visual, because you just want to develop the horrid image in my thinking meat. That's some nightmare fuel, bro.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
God damn it. You start drinking, you get all fucking crazy. Stop it!
Give me a sausage tracheotomy, you sexist alpha stud.